Have you ever wondered what really happens behind the closed doors of senior living communities? What if the promise of care and comfort hides a side of loneliness, neglect, or even exploitation? I'm here to share what I've learned and experienced over the years, a truth that many of us elders wish someone had told us before making life-changing decisions. Stay with me as we uncover the dark side of these communities and consider for a moment, what if the perfect retirement home isn't as perfect as it seems? If any of this stirs your heart or raises questions, please hit subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. Your story matters. Today, I'll reveal some shocking realities about senior living communities that are rarely discussed. We'll explore stories of isolation, hidden costs, and the compromises many of us have faced when seeking care. I won't give away everything just yet. I want you to join me on this journey, step by step, as I share real experiences and offer advice on what to watch out for. Stick around until the end, because the insights we uncover might change how you view your own options for a safe, nurturing place to call home. For many of us, the idea of a senior living community represents a haven, a place where we can finally relax, surrounded by care and companionship. I, too, once believed in the promise of a vibrant, supportive environment where every need was met. But over the years, I've heard whispers and seen evidence that all is not as it seems. I remember when a dear friend, Margaret, moved into a well-known community. At first, she was excited about the social events and professional care promised by the facility. However, as time passed, she began to feel isolated. The friends she expected to make never materialized, and the caring staff seemed overwhelmed, often leaving her unattended for long periods. Margaret confided in me about feeling more alone than ever, despite being in a community specifically designed to combat loneliness. What if I told you that some communities may be more interested in filling beds than in nurturing souls? These stories raise important questions. Are our elders receiving the genuine care they deserve, or are they caught in a system where profit outweighs compassion? If you've ever doubted the promises of a senior living community, share your experience in the comments below. Your voice can help us all make better choices. When we decide to move into a senior living community, we often think of it as a way to ensure safety and support. Yet, behind the glossy brochures and reassuring testimonials, there are hidden costs, both financial and emotional. I've come to learn that many facilities charge extra for services that should be included in basic care. Some elders feel pressured into paying for extras that they never anticipated, only to realize later that these enhancements are essential for their well-being. Take, for instance, the story of Robert, a gentle soul in his early 70s. Robert moved into a highly rated community, expecting a carefree retirement. However, soon after settling in, he found that his monthly bills kept rising. Services like physical therapy, personal assistance, and even meals were no longer standard. They came with additional charges. Robert's once promising retirement turned into a constant struggle with financial stress. His story is not unique, and it makes us ask, are we truly being cared for, or are we being exploited? Moreover, many elders report a loss of independence and privacy. The structured routines, the strict schedules, and the lack of personalized care can leave us feeling like we've traded our freedom for comfort. These experiences force us to question, is the sacrifice worth it? And if not, what alternatives do we have to ensure that our twilight years are filled with dignity and joy? If you have encountered hidden costs or felt your independence slipping away, please let me know in the comments. Sharing our stories is the first step toward finding solutions together. Beyond the financial strain and physical compromises, the emotional impact of some senior living communities is profound. Many elders feel that despite being surrounded by people, they remain profoundly lonely. I recall a heart-wrenching conversation with a neighbor named Eleanor. She expressed that although she lived in a community filled with others, she missed the genuine connections of her old neighborhood, the shared laughter, the spontaneous conversations, the sense of belonging. Instead, she felt like just another resident on a list, often overlooked by busy staff. This sense of isolation can be deeply damaging when we enter a community that fails to foster real social bonds. We lose a critical component of our overall health. Loneliness is not just an emotional burden. It can lead to physical decline and worsen pre-existing conditions. Have you ever felt that despite being in a community, you're still alone? I invite you to share your feelings and experiences in the comments. Your insights can help create a dialogue about how to build more caring, connected environments for our golden years. It's important to remember that emotional well-being is as crucial as physical health. True care means addressing both, and no elder should have to sacrifice one for the other. So, what can we do to protect ourselves and our loved ones from the dark side of senior living communities? The first step is awareness. Know that you have a right to comprehensive, respectful care that values your independence, dignity, and emotional health. When evaluating a community, ask detailed questions. What services are included in the base price and what comes as extra? How are residents encouraged to maintain their independence and social connections? Are staff members trained not just in physical care, but in emotional support as well? I urge you to speak openly with family, friends, and professionals. If you've already experienced a challenging environment, your story can serve as a warning and a guide to others. Please share your experiences in the comments below. Have you been in a community that felt more like a trap than a home? Your voice is powerful and can spark necessary change. Also, if you're currently exploring your options, take the time to visit multiple communities, ask tough questions, and trust your gut feelings. Your health and happiness are too important to settle for anything less than compassionate care. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Golden Years Wisdom for more advice and community support. We are in this together, and your engagement helps us spread awareness. Let me share a couple of stories that show both the hardships and the hope within senior living communities. I recently spoke with Harold, a resilient soul in his late 70s who had once endured a community that felt cold and impersonal. Harold described how he struggled to form meaningful relationships and felt abandoned by staff. However, after transferring to a smaller, community-run facility, he found a renewed sense of belonging. The difference was not in the physical care alone, but in the warmth and personalized attention he received. Harold's story reminds us that not all communities are the same. There are places that truly care, but they are rare, and we must seek them out. Similarly, I heard from Linda, a spirited 68-year-old who initially felt overwhelmed by the bureaucracy and lack of flexibility in her former residence. With the support of her family, Linda joined a new community that focused on creating a home-like atmosphere and encouraged resident involvement in daily decisions. Her transformation was remarkable. She went from feeling isolated and ignored to feeling celebrated and empowered. The stories show us that while the dark side exists, there is always hope for change when we demand better care and advocate for ourselves. Have you encountered such challenges or found a community that made you feel truly cared for? I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Your experience might inspire others to take action or seek out a better environment. As elders, our wisdom comes from years of experience, and that wisdom must guide us when making choices about where and how we live. Research, ask questions, and most importantly, trust your instincts. No matter how appealing a community may seem on paper, the true measure of its care is in the daily interactions, the genuine concern shown by the staff, and the quality of life experienced by its residents. I recommend creating a list of must-haves before visiting any community. Think about what makes you feel safe and happy, whether it's the availability of social activities, the friendliness of the staff, or the overall atmosphere of the place. When you have a clear vision of what you need, it's easier to spot red flags. And remember, it's perfectly okay to walk away if something doesn't feel right. Your health, dignity, and happiness are worth more than a glossy brochure. If you're in the process of deciding or have already made your choice, please share your decision-making tips in the comments below. Your insights can help others who are struggling to navigate this complex process. And if you appreciate these discussions, please subscribe to Golden Years Wisdom. We are building a community where every elder's experience counts and where informed choices lead to better lives. As we near the end of this discussion, I want to reflect on what home truly means. Home is more than just a building or a set of services. It's where you feel valued, understood, and safe. For many of us, the idea of moving into a senior living community was born out of necessity and hope. Yet, when that hope is betrayed by neglect, isolation, or hidden costs, the very essence of home is lost. I have come to believe that we deserve more. We deserve environments that not only meet our physical needs, but also nurture our hearts and souls. It's our right to live in places that honor our lifelong experiences and allow us to continue sharing our wisdom with the world. Think back to the moments in your life when you truly felt at home. Was it in a bustling family dinner, a quiet afternoon spent reading, or perhaps in the laughter shared with dear friends? Those moments are the ones we should seek to recreate, even in our living arrangements. Let's use our voices to demand spaces that respect us, uplift us, and treat us like the rare jewels we are. I invite you to share your thoughts on what makes a place feel like home. Have you ever felt truly cared for in a senior living community? Or have you faced challenges that made you long for a better, more compassionate environment? Your reflections are not only valuable, they are the cornerstone of a community that stands for dignity and respect. Before we close today's discussion, I want to leave you with this thought. Every one of us deserves a home where we feel cherished and safe. While the dark side of some senior living communities is a reality, our collective voice can demand change. Each story shared, each experience discussed, adds weight to our call for better care and genuine compassion. If this message has resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Golden Years Wisdom, and share your experiences in the comments below. What have you witnessed in senior living communities? How have you navigated these challenges? Your insights can light the way for many others who are searching for a truly caring environment. Thank you for spending this time with me. Every step you take toward understanding your rights and advocating for your well-being is a step toward a brighter, healthier future. Let's continue to support one another, share our wisdom, and demand the care we deserve. Until next time, take care of yourself, and remember, your voice matters, and your experience is a beacon of hope for others.